So you have to be careful about blaming people because it may be God using a situation, inciting a situation. Let me put it this way. Sometimes we are so slow to respond to God and so lackadaisical about his will that God got to light a fire under the devil to mess with you, to get you to get up and do something about your life. Sometimes he's got to go all the way home, put it the way the people can get it. He's been trying to light a fire under you, but you ain't moving. So what he does is put a fire under the devil. And I promise you, when the devil gets to messing with you, you're going to get up and shame. So he will put a fire under Satan to attack, until it forces you to do something. You got that? I want to open up something here. Judges 14, Sampson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. And so he went up and told his father and mother, saying, I've seen a very, very beautiful, gorgeous, knockout woman here in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. Please get her for me as a wife. Then his father and mother said to him, is there no woman among the daughters of your brethren or among all of the people that you must go and get a wife from an uncircumcised Philistine? Sampson said to his father, get her for me, for she pleases me well. She is the one that I want. But his father and mother, it is. His father and mother did not know what? That it was the Lord who was seeking an occasion to move against the Philistines. For at that time, the Philistines had dominion over Israel. What the father and mother did not know, it was who? It was the Lord who put it in him, who incited the situation in order that he would move against the Philistines. God wanted to crush Israel's enemy. And so Israel, since they wouldn't get up and believe God and take the battle to the enemy, God incited Sampson to create a condition to provoke the Philistines to move against Israel so that he could fight on Israel's behalf. So they didn't know that it was the Lord. It was God who was stirring up all of the trouble. It wasn't, it's the devil too, you can say that. But God is the architect behind the scene working because he had a divine plan. What he has for your life as well. So it was God that was stirring up the trouble. Now, all things, that's why I had to qualify that because I'm going to get in the mood something. All things, and I want you to see this, including our trials and our troubles, our sorrows, our misfortunes, our failures, and everything else you want to name, etc., still will ultimately only further God's divine purpose for your life. See, God uses it doesn't matter. He may not call these things, these are the result of wrong decisions, but it does not stop God's plan. It does not hinder God's plan. So ultimately, we're talking about divine purpose now. All of those things still will only further the divine purpose of God for your life. All right. Let me give you scriptures to help explain Romans 8. And we know that all things, say all things. All things. Those are the things I just named too. That means your trials, your troubles, your misfortunes, your downfalls, your failures, your bad decisions, your wrong turns, and everything else you want to name. Ultimately will still work to the fulfillment of God's divine plan for your life. It won't hinder the plan of God. So what I'm going to say to you is, I know you've been through a lot, but that ain't no excuse when it comes to the divine plan of God for your life. And then I can back it up most scripture, because once you give your heart and life to Jesus, you become a new creation, born again. Old things are passed away, so it's like none of that happened in the mind of God. You can't use your past life. Like God ain't got no power to do what he's going to do. So your past doesn't hinder your future except you let it. The whole concept of born again is a new start, a fresh start in life. To move on in life. So the truth of the matter is, all of us are subject to environmental conditions, growing up in a certain situation. But that's only a hindrance if you buy into that and use it as an excuse to justify your loss of motivation and so forth and so on. Don't do that. Move on. So Romans says all things. Now, another translation says, and we know that in all things, God is working to achieve the good for us that he desires. In everything. That's up, down, bad. I mean, it just doesn't matter. He's working to achieve a specific goal or end. Genesis 50, well, here's a story that brings that. Joseph said to his brother, but as for you, you meant evil against me. Say perspective. But God meant it for good. Use the situation. Look what he says. In order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people's lives. So in other words, had you not done that, I would not be in a position to save all of the lives that I'm going to save. Not only my family, lives of Jacob and all, but lives of all the people who came to Egypt to buy food because they were in a famine all over the continent. So Joseph's wisdom and insight and prophetic vision and ability to interpret the dream allowed him to prepare a situation or a condition to be able to save lives all over the continent. Why? Because one man got a revelation from God in a dream that he can interpret to say a famine is going to hit. Let us store up and prepare, because it's going to be 7 years of drought and no rain. What would happen if Joseph had not gotten that revelation from God? Starvation would have struck. The posterity of Jacob would have been cut off. But God had worried with this state, because it's through Abraham, which ultimately Isaac, all of the nations are going to be blessed. So God was preserving, protecting his word. But look how it came about. Through his brothers selling him, putting him in a position to rise and to be able to save mankind. Look at somebody and say, I'm that Joseph.